Please stand for the national anthem, which will be performed by Cornell Burke Jr., and the presentation of colors by the Police Department's Honor Guard.
Honor Guard. Ho! FLYTHE. Ho!
That was Cornell Burke Jr. Please be seated. Good evening again. I'm Lieutenant Randall Petrosky, and I welcome you to the Newport News Police Department's 20th Basic Law Enforcement Academy graduation. Welcome distinguished visitors, recruit family members, friends, police personnel, and recruiting staff. I would also like to introduce those seated on stage. To my right, Command Sergeant Major Edward Mitchell, the Honorable Judge TYNEKA FLYTHE, Chief of Police Steve Drew, City Manager Cindy Roth, Assistant Chief Michael Grinstead, Assistant Chief Eric Randall, Assistant Chief Michael Hudgens, Assistant City Manager Alan Archer. So I would also like to take a moment to recognize a few special guests seated in the audience. City Council Member Pat Woodbury, City Council Member Dr. Sandra Cherry, Virginia Delegate David Yancey, Police Chaplain Donald Reed, will you please come forward for the invocation?
Please pray with me. We thank you, God, for bringing everyone together for this celebration of graduation for these new law enforcement professionals who have answered your call to do justice, to love mercy, and to walk humbly in your presence. We are thankful for this wonderful venue and to the clergy, staff, and members of Temple Baptist Church for their hospitality. These courageous graduates are tonight joining those who already serve our great city. Be their guide this day, every day, and all days. Give them courage to face and conquer any fears as they go where others will not. Give them strength of body and spirit and dedication to our community to keep it safe. God, give them concern for those who trust them, and compassion for those who need them. And through it all, God, be always at their side. You know, God, that their chosen profession isn't an easy one. These are particularly difficult days, but they will do it because of their desire for goodness and love. Every day when these officers, with all the other officers of this great city, put on their badges, we ask you to be there right along. Be their unseen guest walking next to them and bring them safely back to those who love them. Be with them, God, and always let them remain compassionate at the right time, unyielding when needed, and at all times give them strength and faith as duty calls. Amen.
It is now my pleasure to introduce Ms. Destiny Wilson, who is a recent graduate of Denby High School and is a member of the Young Adult Police Commissioner.
Good evening, everyone. Hello, I am Destiny Wilson, and I'm a recent graduate of Denby High School as of June. I am 19 years old, and I lived in the city of Newport News my whole life. Like so many young adults, I've struggled on figuring out what I wanted to do after high school. At the beginning of my senior year at Denby, Chief Drew gave me the opportunity to become a young adult police commissioner. At first, I was hesitant because of the many stories and videos I had heard and seen dealing with police over the years. When I first joined the group, I was afraid of the unknown because I did not know what to expect. It is not common in my community to hang out with the police. However, Over the last 8 months of being in the YAPC, I've learned skills that I might not have learned on my own. I learned the dangers of drunk driving. I learned about the different departments of the police department, and I learned how and why I should and can trust in police. As I stand before you today, my new observation is that police officers are just like us. They're funny, caring, loving, hardworking citizens with families with the goals in life to serve and protect their community. I would like to pay homage to the new police officers of the City of Newport News. As a citizen of this city, I would like to set forth a few challenges to the graduating class. First, I challenge you to treat others how you would want to be treated. Keep in mind that every traffic stop or arrest made in this city could be your mother, father, sister, or brother. Second, try bonding with the youth more, whether that includes having lunch with children at their respective schools or stopping to say hello to a citizen walking on the street. Last but not least, I challenge you to never doubt yourself, no matter what the situation is, because we as a community believe in you. Always trust your training. In the words of Winston Churchill, success is not final, failure is not fatal, but it's the courage to continue that counts. In closing, I would like to thank my YAPC members for taking this journey of alignment with me, Sergeant Melissa Morgan for always being my mentor and forcing me to come out of my comfort zone, and Police Chief Drew for giving me the opportunity to be in this program and helping me believe that even though I am still young, I have the power to make a change. And once again, congratulations for your upcoming success. Thank you.
And now I'd like to introduce our guest speaker for this evening. Command Sergeant Major Edward W. Mitchell was born in Richmond, Virginia, and enlisted in the United States Army in October 1986. In his distinguished career, Command Sergeant Major Mitchell has held numerous leadership and staff positions and has served with distinction. Command Sergeant Major Mitchell's awards include the Legion of Merit, the Bronze Star Medal, Meritorious Service Medal, Army Commendation Medal, Army Achievement Medal, Army Good Conduct Medal, National Defense Service Medal with 2 Bronze Service Stars, United Nations Medal, the Southwest Asia Service Medal with 2 Bronze Stars, the Global War on Terrorism Service Medal, the Global War on Terrorism Expeditionary Medal, the Kuwait Liberation Medal, Saudi Arabia and Kuwait, the Non-Commissioned Officer Professional Development with number 04, Overseas Service Ribbon, 4th Award, the Army Service Ribbon, the Order of the St. George Medallion, the Combat Action Badge, the Pathfinder Badge, Drill Sergeant Badge, and the Air Assault Badge. I still have another paragraph if you'd like me to
No,
continue.
please don't read that. Please don't read
Yes, sir.
that.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Hey. You know, before I begin, first of all, Chief Drew, thank you so much for inviting me. It's nice to see you here. Lieutenant Petruski, thank you so much. What I want to say, first of all, what that means is that I'm old. It means I have been doing this for a very long time. And guess what? And I'm honored to do it. So one thing I would like to say before I begin my speech, because my enlisted aide called and told them, are you sure that you want me here to speak? And Chief Drew said, yes. He said, but did you hear about the last 10 that he gave? And he said, tell him to come on anyway, because he's the last one. So I said, okay. But Destiny, I had the opportunity to talk to you today. And I will tell you, you have a remarkable story that you need to make sure you tell to everybody. This is a young lady right here who's went through a lot, but guess what? Have found her way in life, and guess what? It's through the police department. And I will tell you, let's give her another round of applause. All right, go ahead and stand up, young man. You know, this young man looked at me and he asked me a question when I first got here, and his question was, he said, "Are you a hero?" And I looked at him, I said, "No, I am just like you. An individual who want to make their way in life and in the community and make it better than it was when I grew up." So for this young man, what I'm going to do for him, I'm going to bring him to Fort Houston and let him take my place for one day and make all the decisions that I make. Born at your mom and dad let you come, I'm just saying. But you know, hey, listen to everybody else. Distinguished guests, family and friends of the graduating class of 2019. I hope that's right, since y'all don't have a motto. I'm gonna give y'all one. Let's get ready, let's get to it, and let's do it, okay? It is indeed a privilege and an honor to stand before you today. First, I would like to express my gratitude to Chief Drew and the Newport News Police Department Academy team. Thank you so much for selecting individuals out of your community to come back to give back to your community. That's what we need. It's like I was telling Judge here earlier, is that I used to be in charge of all the colleges from Michigan down to Tennessee and all the JROTC programs. And you would not believe that most people that works in these cities live on the outside of these cities. So what we need is individuals who come into the cities and give back to the city that they live in. Because them the ones got some interest and gonna make sure that you get what you need. Okay, so that's something I will tell you. Thank you so much for these great group of servant leaders that you have produced here, and I hope that they go and do some great and wonderful things. Secondly, I would like to thank each and every one of you for your service and sacrifice as you answer the call and undertake the most strenuous but noble path of being a law enforcement. Your motto, "Committed to our community," speaks volumes of what is expected of you. You are the first line of defense of our communities, and you must achieve your fullest potential while serving in your community. You know, the 23 weeks of training that you have received was intense, grueling, exhausting, but of very high caliber. It is perhaps one of the best, and it was all to prepare you for the road ahead. Your leaders and trainers gave their best so that you can become capable, unsurpassed, and an excellent member of the law enforcement community. You had physical training, classroom instruction, simulations, and practical session, all with the goal of preparing you to be the best and to do the increasingly difficult but utterly essential job of enforcing all laws in Virginia. You have learned, fought, sweat, and bled through your training. You have been pushed mentally and physically. You have been challenged to the brink of your limits and beyond time and time again. Yet, here you are. You triumph and ready. We all need you to be outstanding, to work hard, and to demonstrate great integrity in the execution of your duties. Our people, I'm going to say that again, our people deserve no less. Police officers are just like leaders in the Army. They are a visible example of what right looks like to their community. If a leader in the Army or a police officer in the community fail to adhere to a standard, they have just set a lower standard. And we need for you to go out and set the standard, and if so, exceed it. Today, I want to take this opportunity to speak to all of you on the importance of character, which is linked to the values in the police department as well as in the Army. A proverb of the subject of character. I'm going to name two professional people. One of them is still living and one is not, okay? The first one is General Colin Powell. He points out, before I say that, if wealth is lost, this is the proverb, if wealth is lost, nothing is lost. But if character is lost, everything is lost. So General Colin Powell points out the most important thing I learned is soldiers watch what their leaders do. You give them classes and you can lecture to them forever, but it's your personal example they will follow. And Abraham Lincoln states, and I quote, "Nearly everyone can stand adversity, but if you want to test a person's character, give them power," end quote. These passages stress the multitude of character and discipline. A leader without character is someone proclaiming that they are rich when they are actually broke. Success come and go, but integrity is forever. It takes character to do the right thing all the time, no matter the consequences. Building a reputation as a police officer of character takes time, but it only takes a second to lose it. We live in a world where integrity and the subject of character are not discussed nearly enough. We live in a world where the end justifies the means. Approach has become an acceptable school of thought for far too many and for far too long. Leaders without character and discipline are a liability to their department as well as organization. But you got to understand, when you don that uniform, it's not about you. It's about all the individuals who came before you. You're just trying to make sure that the ones that gave their life, their blood and sweat and tears, that you want to live up to them. You just starting your mark in the world, just like me doing it 33 years ago. You just started. And I hope to see you as a chief or assistant chief or a sergeant or a lieutenant. You know, I will tell you, leaders with character runs their departments and are remembered by their communities they serve forever. Communities deserve nothing best but the absolute best from you. And you cannot be the best if you are not a model of virtue. Set the example. Be the example. Know your police officer virtues. And I'm not sure if this is yours, but I'm going to give them to you today. Be a staunch professionalism, a salt of the earth nobility, and a stubborn devotion to the department and the community that you serve. Provide your department and community the best version of yourself by having faith in yourself and your community will definitely trust in you. As you march from this stage today, you're going to have a lot of people in the stands that's going to be celebrating your achievements. Bear in mind, it's not about you. It's about what you're getting ready to do. It's about the impact that you are getting ready to deliver. It's about your community and hiring a police officer of character, a police officer who will listen to them, who will talk to them, and who will lead them from unhealthy ways. As you strive to achieve, please listen to me. Always remember to do your very best, work hard, and constantly maintain your integrity, honesty, and character. In closing, these are some troubled times we are currently finding ourselves in. Life is full of many challenges, and the world we live in is far from perfect. But I have the utmost faith in you, class of 2019. I believe that you will make this community a better and safer place, and that you will be a shining example of professionalism. I believe that we can count on you, and I believe you will make us all proud. Always give your best, work hard, demonstrate the integrity in all you do, and you too will be committed to our community. You know, as I go out, I always try to do a speech, since you didn't know this, Chief Drew. I always try to come up with an acronym because most of the time I have done many graduations in my life, and I never remember the old guy who got up there and just talked. I never remember the word he said. And I know that's going on from you today. I can see you back there nodding your head. So I'm going to try to give you something that might resonate with you. And if it, you too. Can you at least smile for me? Okay, don't worry about it. But anyway, what I'm gonna give you today is, guess what? The acronym I'm gonna give you is CARE. What does that spell? Hey, say it louder. Care. All right. Hey, C is for challenge, meaning always challenge yourself and your peers to meet and exceed standards in whatever you do. A is for assurance, that you must provide to your community at all times. That let them know that, guess what, you are on the tip of the spear. When they call, you're going to be there. If they need you, you will be there. If something happens that you need to make sure that you can help them, you will be there, and you will assure that, guess what, they are safe as long as you're on your beat. R is for rhythm, just like battle rhythm in an operation. You don't want to be strong one day, you don't want to be weak the next. But it also goes further than that. It means you're going to also have your professional life and your personal life balanced. It means that, guess what, one is not going to overtake the other. Because you're going to have an option in life. You can either keep one or the other, and that's not what you want. So always remember your battle rhythm and make sure you maintain it. And E is for enthusiasm. The privilege that you have to serve your community. The privilege that you have to make sure that every kid can walk down their street without having to worry about anything when you're on your beat. That's enthusiasm that you need to make sure you have every day. So let me tell you, the acronym is CARE. All you have to do is care, and everything will fall into place. Because guess what? When you care, you'll be early for your first shift and have your uniform tailored and your hair cut short or pent up. When you care, you will make sure that your patrol unit is spotless and your boots are highly polished and your brass is squared away. When you care, you will stay in shape and be ready to run, fight, and maybe shoot if need be. When you care, you will be loyal to your chief, sheriff, or whoever else in charge of you, and you will not want to be a part of anything that would diminish what you have inside of your organization. For the first thing I will tell you what I have learned, in order for you to be a successful leader, you got to first learn how to follow. Hey, when you care, you will lift your family above yourself, and you will be humble. When you care, the community you serve will give you their last bit of blood, sweat, and tears. All you have to do is care. And I guarantee you, your community will show it back to you. You know, I leave you with this comment. Don't ever take for granted that the privilege of being a police officer in Newport News and the significance of being a leader of integrity and character. We all are counting on you. Congratulations. Be safe out there. God bless you all, and thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Recruit TOCH. You were nominated by your peers. Now you're going to bring greetings from your class. Please come forward.
On January 24th, 2019, 28 of us lined up in the parking lot outside what would become our home away from home for 5 interminable yet impossibly quick months. 28 individuals with diverse backgrounds, with diverse reasons for being in that parking lot. Some of us had been involved with the department for several months, others had arrived much more recently. There was unfamiliarity and uncertainty in the frosty air, but regardless, we were ready to finally begin the next phase of our lives. MPO Barry stood out to meet us, casual, unhurried, and unsmiling. And after being given a cursory look over, we began to head over to the academy. BLE 20, I don't know about the rest of you, but I started to realize how our first day was going to go. when MPO Barry, in his typical deadpan fashion, said, "I don't know why you're walking." Nothing hastens one's pace or heart rate, for that matter, quite like that, I can tell you right now. The first day was difficult, to be sure, but I feel like I can safely say, now that we're about to graduate, that it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. Academy staff, if you want to take that feedback into consideration for the next class, please don't tell them I was involved. I don't want them to hunt me down after they graduated. But in all seriousness, we learned a lot about ourselves as a class on that first day. It no longer mattered that some of us were strangers to each other. We had to work together and encourage each other if we wanted to succeed. Academy staff, you very effectively instilled that truth in us. Law enforcement officers must accept the risk that accompanies this line of work, that at the end of every shift, they either go home safely or they may not go home at all. This reality only serves to more emphatically highlight the necessity of exceptional instruction for future police officers. After all, it is our lives, as well as the lives of those we serve, that depend on our ability to perform our job at the highest level. On that note, I want to take this time to thank those who provided my classmates and me with the education and tools we needed to do our job well. I would be remiss if I didn't start with the man who has been with us from the very beginning. MPO Barry, you promised us that you would only bring us the best instructors, second to none, and you kept your promise. In fact, you were the best of the best. From day one, you pushed us to our limits, and I'm sure we often pushed you to yours. We definitely gave you some gray hairs, what with infecting you with the plague despite your best efforts, continually making you write up retests, and hitting you in the common perennial during OC Day. Nevertheless, you gave us constant reminders that you truly cared about us and our success. The amount of time and effort you invested into our class will never be forgotten by any of us. MPO Barry, thank you for being the best supervisor we could have asked for. Officer Walczak, we can't thank you enough for the impact you had on us and our education. Your passion for the material you taught us and your interest in ensuring we understood it were palpable. You broke down vital concepts in a language that was easy for us to grasp. You were the human version of the illustrated guide to criminal law, even though Guerrero was never impressed with your illustrations. Furthermore, you taught us EOs, our new favorite ad workout, which we all thoroughly enjoyed doing during defensive tactics. Finally, we'll always admire how creative you were with your threats. I know my personal favorite was when you said you would smoke us until we hated our mothers for catching our father's eyes. Officer Walczak, you were instrumental in the shaping of every single one of us as officers, and we thank you for that. Sergeant Sinclair, you always knew the right air to take with us. On our first day, you were understandably pretty stern. You helped set the tone we needed to possess, one of respect for those above us. At the same time, you were always understanding with us, especially when we struggled with our timesheets. I can't imagine the patience one must possess in order to go through 20 out of those things every 2 weeks, as well as a never-ending stream of overtime slips, but you constantly showed us how gracious you were. During DT week, when you had to fight all 22 recruits, you were a great sport and instructor, making sure to give constructive criticism to each of us. Thank you for demonstrating the value of hard work and humility. Captain Creswell, you're the paragon of professionalism in law enforcement. You served as a continual reminder that one only has one chance at a good first impression. Given that you're the definition of squared away, our first impression of you was undeniably one of competence and experience. Whenever you visited the academy, we knew you would leave us with something valuable to remember. Thank you for making this academy the well-oiled machine that it is, and all the best in your new position up north. Lieutenant Petrosky, you were a little late to the party, but from the moment you introduced yourself to us, we knew you would make a great academy director for all future classes. Captain Creswell will be leaving some impeccably polished shoes to fill, but with you, the academy will be in very capable hands. Thank you for taking on such a vital role for the department in this academy. By the way, I'm glad they made your first official class a small one to help you ease into it. Sergeant Churchill, throughout the academy, we were able to witness both your invaluable wealth of experience and knowledge. Your golden nuggets of wisdom were always appreciated, as well as your thirst to continue learning and bettering yourself. Seeing you work on your own skills during our firearm and DT weeks reminded us that the only limits in one's development are those that one sets for oneself. Thank you for keeping us focused and for demonstrating the importance of self-motivation and discipline. MPO Hudson, from firearms to driving and even a little bit of DT, you impressed us as virtually a jack of all trades, and your relatability and humility made us respect you all the more. We witnessed your passion for both those we serve and for doing this job the right way during the Below 100 course. You highlighted a central tenet of law enforcement, although we have the power to take away someone's rights, even their life, it is incumbent upon us that we never abuse that power. Your presence, knowledge, passion, and humor were and always will be appreciated. MPO Poe, you truly helped us in every way you could. Your calm demeanor provided a steadying presence for us during many of our practical trainings, and your knowledge seemed boundless. You were always willing to answer any questions we had and help us through exercises we were struggling with. Through firearms, driving, and DT weeks, as well as our active shooter and stress inoculation classes, to name a few, you played a crucial part in our formation as safe and competent officers, and for that, MPO Poe, we thank you. Officer Riley, your role in our development cannot be overstated. You didn't just make us stronger, you gave us the resources and knowledge we needed so we can continue strengthening ourselves, both physically and mentally, long after our time with you at the Academy was finished. You taught us a plethora of ways to gain compliance and defend ourselves, and I think I can speak for every single one of BLE 20 when I say I'm glad we're on the same side. Officer Riley, thank you for providing us the perfect role model. Competent, strong, and confident, but never arrogant. And last but not least, to the wonderful recruiting team who brought us all here. Captain Bradley, Lieutenant Dunbar, Sergeant Ramdahal, investigators William, Moore, Mercer, Minkoff, Gutierrez, and Gaddis. You all had the challenge of sifting through an ungodly number of applications, walking us through the application process, and preparing us for the Academy. You were all on our minds during the past 23 weeks, especially on that first day, when we realized we definitely weren't pre-hire anymore. From the bottom of our hearts, we thank you all. Very few things bring individuals together as indelibly as trials that are endured together. BLE 20 made it through 23 weeks of trials, yes, but also 23 weeks of fun, excitement, and maturation. Here we are now, 21 of us, at the end of one road and about to embark down another. Soon, we will be recruits no longer. Instead, we'll be public servants, joining the rest of our brothers and sisters in blue. We will be scattered across a large department, but that does not mean that we will forget the experiences that shaped us. As this night comes to a close, and we prepare for the rest of our lives, I want to express my gratitude for you, BLE 20. Be brave, humble, and kind. Stay safe and believe in yourselves and the training we received. I was proud to go through this academy with you, and I will be proud to serve this community with you. Thank you.
Master Police Officer and BLE Coordinator Wilbur O'Berry will present the James D. Fox Award.
Good evening. I'd like to summarize the James D. Fox Award and announce the recipient. James Fox began his career in law enforcement while he was attending college. He was a dispatcher, police officer, and a sergeant for the Virginia Commonwealth University Police Department. He was hired by the Henrico County Police Department in 1973, where he rose to the ranks and was promoted to the rank of Assistant Chief in 1991. He retired from Henrico in February of 2004. Chief Fox began his tenure with the Newport News Police Department on August 1st, 2004. As Chief of Police, he worked tirelessly to reduce crime and build the city of Newport News into a vibrant, growing community. He retired from our department and law enforcement on September 1st, 2013. Throughout his career, Chief Fox had a passion for leadership and excellence in all aspects of policing. He had a vision to provide the best possible training to the Newport News police recruits and felt being an independent academy was a critical step to accomplishing this. Through his tireless leadership and vision, the Newport News Training Academy became an independent academy in 2009. And today, we graduate our 20th class. We appreciate his leadership and dedication to the safety of our community and his tireless efforts into making the Newport News Police Department one of excellence. Our status as an independent and nationally accredited training academy is one of his many legacies he has given us. The James D. Fox Award for Excellence is appropriately presented to a graduate of the Newport News Police Department's Basic Law Enforcement Training Academy who displays academic performance, teamwork, leadership, passion, character, and commitment. The Academy training staff selects the award recipient based on the recruit's overall performance in these areas during their entire 23-week-long Academy session. It is my privilege to announce the recipient of the James D. Fox Award of Excellence to Maria TOCH.
Wow. Everybody breathe for a minute. This is a good day. I'm going to share a little bit about my day with you today. But have we not heard some fantastic speakers today? Are you kidding me? Fantastic speakers, our youth. I got to meet a superhero today. I'm in awe. I'm in awe of this audience, and I'm in awe of the people sitting here to my left. We're going to talk to you all in just a minute. But there's some thank yous I got to say. From our HR division, Lindsay and Elaine, I know I must have called you 3 or 4 times every day. Did you get the paperwork signed? Did you get the paperwork signed? I want this class in here. I am ready to roll. Thank you all for what you did. Captain Bradley and your team, the background investigators, recruiters, outstanding job. You were responsible for bringing the best talent of officers to the City of Newport News, and I appreciate that. For our elected officials that are here, I want to thank you for you guys are always behind us, you're always supporting us, and I think it's important for these young men and women to see that. Our city manager, Cindy Roth, thank you for giving me the opportunity to work in this fantastic city. We are blessed. I am blessed. If you could see the group up top, there's a group of young people called the Young Adult Police Commissioners. This is a freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior in every high school in the City of Newport News that works with this police department. Every Thursday for 2.5 hours, we interact with them. They learn from us. You know what? We learn from them. They teach us what's going on in their mind, how they see their community, what's going on with social media, what they think of their police department. The mayor would say there's a vibe in this city. The city manager will tell you we have momentum. We're rebuilding our neighborhoods, revitalizing them. New businesses are coming into Newport News. Right behind the young adult commissioners is another group, about 25 individuals. Now there's 21 that sit to my left. Those 25 are half of the 42 that are going to start the next class in July. Are you ready for this? Here we go. They will be the biggest class the Newport News Police Department has ever had in its history, and we're going to be fully staffed for the first time in over 25 years in this city. Did you just give her a high five? That's what I'm talking about. That's big. That's huge. We are moving in the right direction. I got 21 young people right here. Well, most of them are young. Most of them are young. They're getting ready to join the department on the cusp of having the best crime reduction this city's had in the last 15 years. We're going to set all kinds of records in the city on reduction of crime. The community is behind this department. We are moving forward and we're making great things happen. But I want to talk to these young people. I want to talk to this group about what's going on in law enforcement today. I promise you, it is not the number of arrests you make. It is not the number of traffic tickets or citations you write. It is not the number of firearms that are seized off the streets. All those things are important. But you won't be remembered for that. You will be remembered for the impact that you make on individual lives. Just let that sink in for a minute. You will be remembered in your career for the impact you make on individual lives. It is trying times in law enforcement today. You turn on any news channel, and it's going across your screen. It is challenging. It is hard. It is hard. And things that you do while you're in the process of making an arrest, responding to a scene, it's already all over social media before you even clear from the call. It is a new time and a new age. It is challenging. When I joined 26 years ago, or Chief Grinstead, some time ago, I got to give him a hard time. We would go into a community, we'd make a report, we may or may not make an arrest, and then we leave. That's not the norm anymore. That's not accepted. We expect problems to be solved, fix things, and we are the first individuals that respond to that 911 call. We get there faster than the big red trucks. We're the first ones there. Such calls like an individual is overdosed. Someone has a problem that is homeless and struggling. My son or daughter doesn't want to get up and go to school. No offense, guys. You know how much time I teach individuals about that in the academy? 0. My point is we are called on more and more and more to do non-traditional things in law enforcement than ever before, and we're expected to be able to deliver. That's why it's vital when I bring new people into this organization that I have a one-on-one conversation with them before they ever start the academy. This academy staff is one of the best in the country, certainly on the East Coast. There's no doubt in my mind. When I see the training curriculum, there's no doubt. They will teach them how to use all the equipment on their belt, how to have their uniform straight, how to do the radio traffic, write the reports. But I cannot teach people how to care about one another. They have to have that when they come in. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for people, new ideas, right? Think outside the box, solve problems, be creative. We cannot do the same things the same way that we did in 1980. Law enforcement has changed, our communities change, technology changes, problems change, and expectations certainly change. And everybody's watching. This class has had some challenges. They've had some struggles. But I'll tell you what, I am proud to say they have come through it. I want each of you to know that I value you. You could have chose any other department, and you chose Newport News. And when I asked them, why? Why do you want to come to this city? Why do you want to be a police officer in Newport News? It wasn't, you have the cool SWAT gear and you have all the nice cars and we really like the uniform. These people, we see what you do in the community. You're allowed to be the police here. And you get to interact with youth in our communities, our citizens, our neighborhoods. That is the kind of individuals that I want coming into this organization. That is the kind of individuals, the future of Newport News. Of all the speeches you've heard talk about today, it's how you treat people, how you interact with people, how you feel about people makes the difference. The best detectives in this department, you're right. You're right. The best detectives and the best investigators in this department are the ones who know how to talk to people, who know how to interact with people. Because believe me, guys and gals, all 21 of you will see society at its very worst. Bad circumstances happen. People have bad days. You will see society at its most challenging times, its most difficult times, at its very worst. But those moments allow us to wear this uniform with this city to be at our very best. To be at our very best. I'm proud of you. I challenge you to have compassion for people, to be bold and make decisions. You will make mistakes. That is okay. That's how you learn and get better, to think outside the box. Don't settle for the norm that this is just what we've always done. The city is doing some amazing things, and you guys are part of it. I appreciate you. You're valued here. I'm going to run this department like a family, and I challenge you with this. Please, don't let me down, but more importantly, don't let this community down. Congratulations.
You're up, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Okay, it's time for Judge TYNEKA FLYTHE. She's going to swear in the graduates.
All right. Good evening, everyone. And I'll say a couple of words while you all are standing at attention. I know that standing for just a little while longer won't be too bad, I hope. You have heard a lot of people today on your graduation day doing a little bit of fussing about this thing called integrity and character. You heard it from Destiny. She said, treat people the way that you want to be treated. She's exactly right. And you heard it from Sergeant Major Mitchell telling you that you need to make sure that you put integrity first. I've told my daughter for a long time that integrity is what you do when no one is looking. It's the choices that you make when you couldn't be held accountable by anyone but yourself. I want you all to remember that just like what the chief said, even though you're under more of a microscope because of social media, or you're under more of a microscope because people are watching, and your profession in some ways is under a whole lot more scrutiny than it's ever been, you could use that to your advantage to make sure that you remain accountable, and that you take that scrutiny to help make you be even better. I have two roles with you going forward. One is going to be professional, and I'll talk to you about that in a second, but the first is going to be as a member of the community that you protect. I am very, very thankful and very honored to be living in the city of Newport News with what I think is one of the greatest police departments in this country. I feel safe. I feel like my children are safe. I feel like I can go to any of the officers that serve and protect and know that I will have someone that I can trust, that will have my back, and that will help when someone is in need. That is something that you can't fake, and I'm very, very appreciative to live in this community. That is what you are joining. That is what you're going to be a part of. As a judge in this community, you're going to see me in a different capacity. I have to be impartial and I have to be in balance. It doesn't mean that I am unapproachable or unreachable. If you need us, we will be there to answer questions. But remember this, when you raise your hand and you swear that you are going to tell the truth and the whole truth, that the words that come out of your mouth have to be under that same level of scrutiny, that same light shining, glaring on it, and that I have to be able to hear and know that what you say to me is the absolute truth. You will lose cases. It will happen because our justice system is set up to mete out who is guilty and who is innocent. That is not for you to say. What you decide to do is to bring the truth. I know that that is a standard in the community of officers that you're becoming a part of. And I want you to make sure that you carry it from this day forward. The oath that I'm about to present you with is something that today will be very, very easy to carry forward. Make sure that you keep it up as a mantle for all of the days that you serve on this department going forward. Some days that will be harder, but you are surrounded by people that will support you and will help you go through that. All right, here we go. If you would please raise your right hands and repeat after me. I state your name.
I,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Virginia,
and the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Virginia,
and that I will faithfully and impartially discharge
and that I will faithfully and impartially discharge
and perform all the duties incumbent upon me
and perform all the duties incumbent upon me
as a probationary police officer for the city of Newport News,
as a probationary police officer for the city of Newport News,
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability.
so help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, officers.
We will now move into the badge presentations. Please hold your applause until the last recruit's name is read to allow family members to hear their loved one's name. Christopher Burkett. Renzi Chandler. Amanda Doolittle. James Fitzgerald. Gavin Grabovich. Norman Gray. Michael Guerrero. Christopher Haney. Desiree Locklear.
Here comes a smile. There you go. Congratulations.
Ryan McManus. Hannah Mormon. Timothy Macedas. Joshua Paget. John Pinion.
Hold that thing up there. Make sure you see it. There you go. There you go.
Brittany Randall. Joshua Reeves.
Hold that thing up so you can see it. There you go.
Harley Ryan. Tyler Southard. Catherine Thine. Maria Talk. Wade Webster. Honor Guard, will you please escort the family members to the front of the stage for the pinning of the badges? You may now pin on the badges. Thank you, families. You may now return to your seats. Assistant Chief Michael Hudgens will now administer the oath of honor.
Good evening. Would like for all the present and past police officers to please rise and join me and our newest police officers in going over the oath of honor. Please raise your right hand. On my honor, I will never betray my badge. My integrity, my character, or the public trust. I always have the courage to hold myself and others accountable for our actions, and I will always uphold the Constitution and the community I serve. So help me God.
Communications to all Newport News Police Department. Tonight we welcome BLD class number 20 into our Newport News Police Department family. Congratulations, ladies and gentlemen, as you embark on your new journey. Be safe and good luck.
Please join me in congratulating our newest officers.
Chaplain Reed, will you please come forward for the benediction, please?
Let us pray. And now as we depart and go our separate ways, I pray for everyone here your safe return home tonight and always. Blessings to all those who daily connect, respect, protect, and serve. Lord, be with each new officer and all officers from now and forever to strengthen, support, and defend them. Bless the families and friends who have come in support of our graduates and those fellow officers who welcome and embrace them. For those whom we honor this evening, may God bless each of you for the courage you have displayed in the taking of the solemn oath as sworn officers of the law and as members of Newport News' finest on this very evening, and for the extraordinary services you will provide and sacrifices you will make on behalf of this, our beloved community, in the coming days. And now we ask your blessings upon the refreshments that have been prepared, those who have provided them and those involved in its preparation. In the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, go in peace. Amen.
Thank you, everybody, for coming to this evening in support of our new officers. And now I invite you to a reception in the dining hall to the rear of the theater. Thank you.